Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're doing alright. Welcome to One with the Metaverse. On the channel, we like to talk about Mirandus and other Gala games related stuff. For tonight, we're going to be talking about the human exemplars. The human exemplars. So before we start off, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at each of the 10 different tribes or clan of human exemplars and what their skill and traits are according to the lore or to the write-ups. And yeah, we'll have a look at those. But before we start, I kind of want to point out some important information about them. First off, there's going to be a total of 25,000 human exemplars. So that means they're going to comprise 50% of the total exemplars that is ever going to exist in the world of Mirandus. Yeah, according to the devs, the game devs, there's going to be only 50,000 exemplars that will ever exist. So half of them will be humans. And out of the 25,000, it will comprise of 10 different clans or tribe as they call them. And each clan or tribe will have their different trait and specialities. And that's what we want to look at tonight. We want to take a look at each of those 10 clans and kind of, just discuss how we see it. It seems like the humans or the human exemplars are focused on provision and exploration, as we kind of will see later as we discuss each traits that they have. And also, it's also worth mentioning that future inhabitants of Mirandus that are gonna be non-exemplars are gonna be humans as well. But they are gonna be somewhat regular or normal humans. The way I see this is I kind of look at it, comparing it to the Numenorians or the Edain in Lord of the Rings. Like Aragorn and his bloodline differs from the regular inhabitants of Middle-earth, regular humans of Middle-earth. So that's the way I see it. And yeah, they're gonna be different. Compared to the other humans or other avatars that will exist in the world of Mirandus. And yeah, that's according to the devs. Again, most of the information that I will share and information that or the things that I will discuss on the video are going to be based on information that we've picked up from AMAs, interviews, official blog posts, official announcement on Discord, all those cool stuff. That's where we get our information from. But since the game is not out yet, we kind of do a little bit of speculation as well, or educational guess. We kind of want to relate or see or look at previous game experience that we have experienced playing MMORPG over the last 2 decades, I guess. So yeah, we kind of want to relate to that. Of course, Mirandus is going to be unique in its own sense, but it's highly probable that it's gonna share similar, game mechanics to traditional MMORPGs. So that's what we want to do. So, having said that, always take what I say with a grain of salt. And yeah, it's all for fun anyway. So I guess we can do that, man. Yeah. To kick things off, man, we want to start with the pit fighters. So let's have a look. Quick look at the pit fighters. It says here on the description, with the roughest imaginable upbringing, the pit fighters excels in fighting in the arenas and often take home the winner's purse. Bonus when fighting empty-handed. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of monks in other MMORPGs. Classic MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, Ragnarok Online, whatever you're into, man. If you have, MMORPG, if you have played an MMORPG before, you'll know that monks seems to be, a favorite class for games to kind of incorporate. Of course, there's gonna be the mage, the wizard, the knights, but a lot of those games, man, also have monks, and it seems like it's always based on hand-to-hand combat or fighting barehanded. So yeah, and according to the description, this is where the pit fighters will excel, fighting empty-handed or not equipping anything. If you're not equipped with a sword or a weapon or a shield, you'll have bonus damage if you're fighting empty-handed. And if we kind of compare it to other what do you call this, survival sandbox MMORPGs, let's say like Rust, Daisy Standalone, and all those even in PUBG, right? When you start, if you're not equipped yet, you kind of start punching stuff, right? If you want to fight or do damage. So I guess this is where the pit fighters will excel. So early game is what I mean. They may excel early game or in the earlier phase of the game development or the world development of Mirandus. When the forges are not up yet, when the population hasn't gathered enough materials yet to craft swords, when the weapons are very limited still, these guys, man, are gonna excel. That's what I think. They're gonna excel because even if you don't have anything equipped yet, you're gonna be able to do more damage compared to other people, who's just punching around, man. So yeah, that's the way I see it, man. Early game, these guys are gonna be in an advantage, and that's not to say that they will not keep that advantage as the game progresses. Yeah, so that's a quick look at the pit fighters. If you're into monk gameplay, or if you wanna focus on other stuff, let's say your armor, and you don't want to spend on weapons and shields and stuff. If you want to keep your the slot for your weapon or for your main hand and offhand free, and focus on the armors and other things in game, pit fighters, man, may fit your needs or want in game. I don't know, man. Yeah, so that's the pit fighters for you. Unfortunately, I think this, at the moment, we're recording on the 13th of December, 1 a.m. I think it's gonna be on the last tier. So I believe there's only 250 left on the store. So I don't know how long that will last, considering how things have gone over the past few days, man. It's been going like crazy. But yeah, but again, don't worry if you're not able to acquire it or buy it from the official Gala Game Store. You can always get it from OpenSea, right? Although it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Yeah. Next, we have the Seafarers. The Seafarer. It says here, born on a Nar in the violent seas of the north. They excel at navigation and finding things lost at sea. Bonus to sailing. So yeah, I really like this because it kind of makes it official that seafaring will be part of the world of Mirandus in the future, or will be part of the game. And that's always a good thing, right? And yeah, so if you're into seafaring, these guys are gonna be the best one for that specific purpose. Again, other factors will come in, like stats, equipment, I don't know, skill sets, or whatever the game devs will integrate into the game. But by default, man, out of all the inhabitants of Mirandus, they're gonna be the best at seafaring. How cool is that, man? And then there's gonna be only 2,500 of you. 2,500. Only 2,500 Seafarers will ever exist. A few of the guys I've been chatting with on Discord really like this exemplar. They're excited. They're excited on, going on voyages, ferrying people across, I don't know, islands and stuff, going on exploration out in the open sea. I don't know, man, but it seems like a very cool concept. And yeah, again, having seafaring in game, it kind of means that there's also gonna be ships, of course, ships and boats. So we're not sure yet if those are gonna be NFTs, the ships and the boats, I mean, or the sea vessels. There's no announcement yet regarding those. So whether they're gonna be NFTs or not in the future, I mean, as long as there's seafaring, I mean, man, that's gonna be cool, right? So, but I do hope that they're gonna be NFTs, man. I do hope they're gonna be NFTs as well. So let's look out for those. But yeah, if you're into seafaring, if that is the gameplay that you're into, the Seafarers is the best exemplar for you, man. If you wanna focus on that element of the game, going out into the seas and adventure, trying to find lost treasures. Come on, man. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? And make money off of it. That's the additional incentive, man. You may earn real money doing it. Because again, blockchain technology, man. And Gala Games is doing it right. Gala Games is just doing it right. We're on to the third one. The third human exemplar that we want to talk about tonight are the Goldsmiths. The Goldsmiths. It says here, precious metals seems to come to life under the agile fingers of the Goldsmiths. Wow. With a bonus to jewelry crafting, they can always find work. Bonus to jewelry crafting. Out of all the 10 exemplars, this is one of the most sought after, I believe, because it's one of the first exemplars or first tribe of exemplars to sell out permanently. Yeah, along with the true providers, they're one of the most sought after, according to how the sales have been, historically speaking. But again, might be a very lucrative, part of the game, man. Crafting jewelries, crafting accessories, which of course, for the most part, if you wanna see it in a traditional MMORPG sense, probably will provide bonus in stats, in abilities, and armors and stuff. It will all differ. Yeah, I kind of remember Michael McCarthy and Bitbender discussing about accessories in game, because they even had a slide on it showing an exemplar having several rings on their hands, on its hand. It's very interesting because based on my experience playing traditional MMORPGs, it is seldom that you actually see the accessories being worn by your avatar or by your character. I don't know, man. If you have any, if you know a game where it does it like that, where if a character, if a player equips a ring, you can actually see it in game, outside the inventory, I guess. But yeah, it's very unique. That is important because, and that's very interesting, because again, what the team or what the game devs want to do is, they want the accessories to be visible, or to be visible to other players. So if your teammate, or if someone else is wearing, let's say, 5 rings, you'll be able to see 5 rings on their hands, or on their hand, man. So I guess that's pretty cool, because that's very unique. I seldom see that element being incorporated in traditional MMORPGs. So again, I mean, man, especially if considering that Mirandus seems to be heavily influenced by the world of J.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. I don't know, man. Rings and accessories might be very valuable or a very important part of the game. Who knows, man? But one thing is for sure, it might or maybe, man, maybe a very lucrative source of income or profit in game. I guess the Goldsmiths are best paired with the dwarf glimmering clan, because that specific tribe or clan of dwarves are able to identify or are able to see better precious gems and minerals, embedded in the terrain, I guess. So having that supplementing the goldsmith's ability to, of course, if you're crafting, you have to have the materials, right? So I guess it's good synergy. It's good synergy. A goldsmith and a glimmering clan dwarf working together, I guess. That's how I see it. So if you're into crafting jewelries and accessories, man, Goldsmith. Telling you, Goldsmith, man, might be the exemplar for you. Next would be the Alchemist. The Alchemist says here, capable of creating the most delicate and valuable elixirs from components from around the world of Mirandus. Bonus to potion making. So yeah, basing it on previous game experience, of course, for all of you guys who are into MMORPGs, you would know that potions are an essential part of the game of MMORPGs. From the time you enter the game level 1 up down to the end game to max level, it seems that you'll always have a potion in your inventory or in your storage somewhere, because it's an integral part of the game, especially PvPing and PvEing. And yeah, usually what it does, you all know, it's usually restores HP, mana, energy, and sometimes in other games it will have anecdotal is that what they call it? Antidotes, and other buffs sometimes incorporated into the potion mechanic. But yeah, again, I think it would be one of the another lucrative area of the game that you may get into if you're looking for stable profit. I guess again, this is all my opinion, man. I mean, basing it on previous game experience, because no matter what stage of the game you are, potions are always essential. It's an essential part of, again, your inventory and your storage. Yeah, especially in Mirandus being an adventure simulator, where the game devs want the players to go out exploring things and adventuring, maybe battling creatures and other players. Again, man, potions are gonna be an essential. So again, potions, man. The Alchemist, they have a bonus. I guess they're gonna be the most efficient. So similar to the rest of the human exemplars, only 2,500. Very limited, man. So if that's your gameplay, or if that's the type of the play style that you're into, crafting potions and stuff, brewers. Sometimes in other games they call it the brewers, right? The brewer of potions. And in other organized guild, for the most part, it's not unusual that they would have someone or a player specializing in brewing potions. So yeah, how cool would that be? On to the next one. We have the Weavers. It says here, generation after generation of the weavers have made their living by the loom. Bonus to cloth and clothing generation. Yeah. The way I see it, man, usually in traditional or, non-blockchain MMORPGs, the armor types are usually split into three in general. That would be the light armor, which is usually the cloth armor, the medium armor, which are usually the leather armors and such, and of course the heavy armor, which would be the the chain mails and the armors that is crafted by the blacksmiths. So out of all those three armor types or clothing types, usually the clothing are going to be the light armor, and it's usually related to the mages and magic casting. But who knows, man? We're not sure yet. There has been no official announcement on how the armor system will work in Mirandus, whether it's going to be similar to those those things that I mentioned. But for the most part, for clothing generation, the weavers are going to be the best one at doing that. So I mean, if you wanna kind of try to think about it, if you wanna craft armor and then you can sell it for Materium, or you can trade it for other stuff, I mean, seems to be a good business as well, or a good income stream. I always notice that in some games, let's say in Rust, when the player enters the world, usually they're naked, right? They're like naked and wearing underwear only. So I mean, early game or early phase of the world development or early phase of the game, I think the weavers are gonna be one of the most will have a lot of utility. Let's just call it that. Will have a lot of utility, definitely. Especially if it takes time to craft the heavier armors, if it takes time to craft or if it takes time to mine the ores or the iron or whatever mineral is needed to craft heavier armor. I mean, early game, man, people might start using cloth or light armors first before they even progress further into the heavier armors, right? So I think early game development, the weavers will have a lot of utility. And again, not to say that utility will not kind of endure towards the later phase, or and considering that Mirandus will be an MMORPG, I mean, there's really no kind of timeline to it, man. It will go on and on as long as the game, or as long as the game devs keep integrating updates and patches. That's how it usually works, man. Like World of Warcraft started, I don't know, man, 2004, 2003, and still going strong. I mean, that has to count for something, right? If you want to look at the MMORPG genre in general, so that's always good. Again, weavers, if you want to be the best at crafting clothing and cloth, or things related to cloth or light armor, the weavers, and I really like the name, the weavers, man. Reminds me of the weaver in Dota 2. Human exemplars, the green cloaks. I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth one. Human exemplar, the green cloaks. Says here, with hands that naturally sense the grain of woods, the green cloaks are at home in the forest and the carpentry shop. Bonus to wood gathering and carpentry. Again, as I mentioned earlier, usually in sandbox MMORPGs, sandbox MMORPGs, one of the most basic resources that is farmed or that is needed is of course wood. Right? Almost every game, man, will start off with wood being the main resource to start building your tool set, your equipment, your weapon, to start progressing into the more advanced stuff, I guess. So again, early game, they may have a lot of utility, and again, this is one of the what do you call this, the profession, woodworking, always one of the profession that really kind of have good endurance when it comes to its presence in game, especially if we kind of want to look back at seafaring. If it ends up that boats or sea vessels needs to be crafted, I think there's gonna be a lot of demand for wood, and also carpentry. Carpentry is also interesting because I think I remember again Michael McCarthy and Bitbender discussing about let's say selling an epic weapon or an epic sword, a legendary sword. They said enable for you to kind of sell it and put it in the market, it has to have an upgraded table as well, or a vessel or a container that will hold it. So I guess they kind of spoke about that. I don't know how important that is, or how valid or how precise they kind of talked about it. But I guess carpentry, it's not just gonna be about crafting chairs and tables and stuff for display. It will also have its importance when it comes to, again, selling stuff, crafting higher end weapons. And of course, carpentry sometimes is also related to crafting bow and arrows, right? So who knows, man? Again, no news about those kind of stuff yet. Again, some of the things we're saying or I'm saying is based on speculation, But who knows, man? Let's see how it unfolds. But yeah, for the most part, the green cloaks. If you want to focus on carpentry and anything related to wood, I guess wood gathering, the green cloaks are gonna be the best exemplars, or gonna be the best avatars, man, in the world of Mirandus. So if that's your thing, the green cloaks, man, you can go for it. Yeah. On to the next one. The cartographers. Says here, the science of distance and innate sense of direction have long been part of their people. So again, I really like this. The cartographers. Usually, in MMORPGs, when you start off in the game, usually you just press M, and then a world map would appear, a map would appear, and you'll know where you are. It may have its dark areas, the unexplored area, but a map is always available in most. I'm not saying in all MMORPGs, in most. What makes it interesting in Mirandus, according to the game devs, you're not gonna have a map until you either buy one or create one. So I guess that's where the cartographers comes in. What they specialize in is creating maps. So that's a very cool element of the game, right? Someone just starting off, wandering the land, going as far as he can, trying to chart, different territories, and having that vital piece of information for yourself. And that can, information may be, uh, again, a lucrative source of income in game. And that is not always seen in traditional MMORPGs. Information being a commodity, right? So I guess, or cooler still, if you can kind of start off charting a specific area of the world of Mirandus, and then travel as far as you can, and then start trading maps with other cartographers. I don't know, man. Like the possibilities, the possibility is kind of limitless on how the gameplay would unfold, and that's what I like about Mirandus. They're not trying to create they're not trying to kind of dictate how the game will flow or unfold. What they're doing is they're just creating this world and the mechanics, and then letting the players decide how things are done in game. So I guess the cartographers, man, uh might be very interesting. Might be very interesting, especially if you know if you want to chart, let's say, locations of different bosses you encounter, different creatures you encounter. I don't know, maybe a treasure trove, maybe a dungeon, a cave where you get more, I don't know, resources. Who knows, man? Who knows? But again, cartographers may be an integral part of the game, especially if in an organized guild. You must, I mean, right? Uh, Someone must take the role of charting the area or the world as your team or your guild explores it, right? That's a very cool concept. I really like this. I really like the cartographers, man. I like the idea behind it. I like, the possibility, or the possible outcome on how the game will kind of play out. Huh? Is that redundant? How the game will play out. Yeah. On to the next one. The strong hands. The strong hands. In their culture, hands should never rest. They are focused on and energetic workers who greatly disdain lethargy. So I've read on an official blog post by Gala that the strong hands will have a skill. If I remember correctly, it's called the expediency. Expediency. And what it does, according to the description, is it speeds up the crafting of either yourself or your ally or your teammates or your friends, as it was described in the blog post. So yeah, I like this because it seems to imply that crafting will take time. Will take time, and in a traditional video game sense, or I have experienced it, crafting usually is instant. Is instant sometimes, and it seems that in Mirandus that's not going to be the case, because if they created an exemplar that specialized in speeding of crafting, that means that crafting will take time, right? So I guess, again, this is all speculation, but we're just trying to read between the lines. But again, another exemplar that may have a lot of utility, especially if you're playing with a group or a guild. Let's say if you have a guild mate, like let's say a green cloak, exemplar trying to craft something, and it takes time. Helping him out, as a strong hand, will speed up that process. So, uh, again, we're not really sure yet how crafting will be implemented, or how the mechanic of crafting will work out in Mirandus. But again, off the bat, man, as early as now, or as little info as we have on the game at the moment, it seems that the strong hands are gonna be very helpful, very helpful, as the official blog post mentioned. So again, the strong hands, speeds of crafting for you or your ally. Yeah, may have a lot of use when the games comes out. So if you want to be helping out your team or your guild or other people, maybe you can I don't know, man, ask for payment for that service. Again, right? That may be an income, a source of income if you're playing a strong hands. If you find someone struggling, taking a lot of time to craft something, maybe you can offer your service, right? Because again, time is money, right? So I guess that's the way I see it. And yeah, on to the next one, the true providers. Says here, behind the scenes, the great cities will acknowledge their power actually rest with these delicate experts. Bonus to all farming and ranching abilities. So actually, this is very true. Even in the historical sense, civilizations, armies, colonies, it always starts off with provision. It always starts off with the logistics and setting everything up. And again, one of those things is always provision, food. The things that's needed for let's say a community to grow. And actually, out of all the human exemplars, I've been observing how they're selling off over the past few months. The true providers, I do believe they are the ones that sold out first out of all the human exemplars. They sold out first. So again, that may imply that they're one of the most sought after human exemplars, because again, they do have bonus to all farming and ranching abilities. So yeah, if you want to make money, I mean, either you wanna farm basic resources, or if you want it to be part of your supply chain, I mean, man, I do believe whatever stage of the game or Mirandus gets to, the proof providers will always have utility. So the true providers, again, a lot of people are interested in owning this or playing as one when the game releases. So true providers, man. Again, unfortunately, sold out on the official store, but you can still get one on the on OpenSea. And again, if you check, I just checked before. I just checked the OpenSea prices just before I recorded the video. It's actually it's similar. Out of all the human exemplars being sold now at OpenSea, the true providers are the most expensive, I do believe. So might not be the case when you watch this video, but during the time of recording, that is what the numbers say. Yeah. And lastly, we're on the 10th one. We're on the 10th human exemplar. Of course, we have the Rider of the North. Yeah. Nomadic riders of the high plains who travel farther in a day than most do in a lifetime. Come on, man. You travel farther in a day than most do in a lifetime? Come on, man. Bonus to all horse skills and abilities. Yeah, again, Mirandus being, it seems that it's very influenced by heavily influenced by the works of Tolkien, Lord of the Rings and stuff. Riders of Rohan, man. It kind of reminds me of that. If I can just say that. And yeah, pretty cool. Again, being on a mount or a steed is always an advantage, or has its advantage in MMORPGs. And I guess in the world of Mirandus, it's pretty much the same. Mobility, being able to travel further distance, I don't know, visit different parts of the world, try to check out, different citadels and villages and, farms, I don't know, different outposts, try to explore the world, man. You can do it faster if you're on a mount. So, I guess Riders of the North, again, another exemplar that has been, or one of the exemplars that sold out. It is sold out. I think, yeah, it's already permanently sold out. I think out of the 10 exemplars, this is the fifth one or the sixth one that permanently sold out. Again, the true providers being the first one, and the Alchemist, and the Goldsmith being the second and third one to permanently sell out. And if I remember correctly, Riders of the North, it's either the sixth one or the fifth one. I don't know, man. Not sure about that. But again, another sought after human exemplar. I'm not sure if it's gonna have another price tier during the time of recording of this video. But again, man, if that's how you wanna play in the future when the game comes out, if you wanna be a rider of Rohan or Rohirrim, I guess. Yeah, Riders of the North. Again, maybe great for scouting the world first. I mean, not in a militaristic sense. I mean, if you wanna explore the world, maybe if you're working in a group, you can ask the Rider of the North to kind of scout the area first before your cartographer goes on charting the area, right? I don't know. These are the synergies that we like to, talk about and discuss on the channel. Let's say, for example, maybe you have a cartographer and you wanna match it or, synergize it with the Seafarer. How cool is that, man? Mapping the seas. And yeah, again, there's a lot of synergy that may exist amongst these different exemplars, and yeah. So we've talked about the last one again, which is the Rider of the North. Oh, we have the price list here, so we can kind of check. Yeah, human exemplars officially permanently sold out. 1142 at the moment is the max price cap. So that means they will not replenish anymore. They're not gonna restock anymore, unfortunately. If you're looking into getting one, so you can only get one now from OpenSea. So this is what I mean. Let's say comparing the human exemplar Rider of the North, which is officially sold out, comparing it to the human exemplar, the Weavers, which is priced at 966, versus the price of the human exemplar that is 1142 at the moment. You would notice that the Weavers are priced less. This means that the Weavers, although it is sold out now, maybe sometime later or tomorrow, I'm not sure on the schedule, but it will restock. It will restock on a higher price tier. And if it gets to this level, 1142, it will be permanently sold out. Once that last batch, the 10th tier, if it does sold out, then it will not restock anymore. I don't know if I kind of explained that well, but there you go. Yeah. So 10 exemplars or 10 tribes, 10 different tribes or clans of human exemplars, all having different traits and skills. And yeah, as we can see, it kind of focus on provision and exploration, and a little bit of I don't know if you want to call it defense or fighting or battling with the pit fighters. Again, on a very basic level. So yeah, provision and exploration, human exemplars. Yeah, 25,000 in total. So if you're interested in getting one, don't miss out, because man, I'm telling you, they're selling out very quick, especially with all the crazy stuff happening this week with Gala Games, right? Galaverse, it's on its third day, I think. Several games has been announced. They're working together with guys from Halo now to develop an exploration FPS game. I think it's called The Last Expedition. Gala Games is also working now with the guys from the Sims video game series. I guess they're creating a game that is similar to that game genre. I didn't play a lot of those, the simulators. So their Gala Games are working with them as well. All the crazy stuff happening, man. All the crazy stuff happening at the moment with Gala Games. It's just crazy. Again, exciting times. We're looking forward to it. Tonight or tomorrow or later in the day, it will be the snapshot. Gala Games will take the snapshot of the exemplars that are on our accounts. So those of you guys who own an exemplar at the moment and have them on their Gala account or Gala wallet will be able to participate in the playtest. A lot of people, man. A lot of people are looking forward to the playtest, and again, we're all excited. We're looking forward to it as well. We're excited to earn or acquire or obtain Materium. I guess on the next video we can kind of talk about that, man. We can talk about Materium. Let's check on the lore. Let's see what it does, how it's described in the lore, how Gala Games plans to integrate it in the world economy of Mirandus. I don't know, man. But yeah, maybe we can do a video on that. I don't know, man. But for tonight, I guess we're ending the video here. Again, we talked about the 10 different clans or tribes of Exemplar, and I hope you guys like it. Also, I'm redoing my video on the dwarves and the orcs. And for all of you who's wondering, if you kind of check the channel, there's already a video on the humans. The reason I'm redoing it is because the first video I did is I kind of used both my native language. I'm Filipino, so I used my native language and English to kind of talk about stuff. And some of the guys who have seen the video kind of suggested if I can try to keep it in English to accommodate more people, because it seems like the interest in Mirandus are coming from different parts of the world. So that's always good. So again, that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to keep the discussion in English, and yeah, man, that's that. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you liked the video, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. And as always, man, peace and love. Let's go.